everyone, I returned from my trip yesterday, so let's go through what I brought, what I would bring again, and what I wouldn't bring again so I can get my laundry done. For some context about this trip, it was a 5-day, 4-night trip. I flew with the Cotopaxi Allpa 28 as my personal item on Spirit. The weather was sunny and cloudy, and the temperature range was about 65 degrees Fahrenheit at night to the highest was like 95 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. I didn't do many outdoor activities, but I did a good amount of casual walking and just hanging out. This is more of a packing debrief video and not a bag review video, but I do really like this bag. I flew with it last year as well, and it was great for that. It can get a little heavy if you're stuffing it very full, but the straps are very thick compared to a lot of other personal item bags that I've seen. And there is a hip pocket, a hip strap that you can tuck away, but I didn't use that at all on this trip. Size-wise, this did fit into the Spirit sizer, and looking at it, I was a little worried, but it did not look like this was gonna fit like this, because it's a little chunky, but it slid in fine, and there was tons of room on the top. Top to bottom, it fit like perfectly, so you could not go beyond this, and I could probably squish a little more into this bag, but I wouldn't want to if I didn't need to. For packing this bag, knowing it was going to be a personal item, and I was a little nervous about the size, I tried to concentrate as much as I could into this main zipper compartment in the bag, because as we'll see when it opens up like a suitcase, but this compartment is the bigger side, and if this backpack were just this size, I would not have anxiety about it fitting at all. So when I was packing my clothes, I realized I actually did have some more room, so then I started putting other stuff in this compartment as well. And that's sort of the thing that you have to compromise with when you're flying with just a personal item, is that you kind of have to just configure your bag a certain way for the flight just to get on the plane, and then as soon as you get on the plane or off the plane to your destination, you can rearrange stuff. So it's really just making sure everything can fit a certain way to pass the rules to get onto the plane, but then you can have another configuration for things during your trip. So using this mindset, that's why I at first packed all of only my clothes into the main compartment, but then once I packed out my bag and I knew everything that I wanted to take, I put a lot more in here, so we'll take a look at that. This flight was only 3 hours. It was actually less than 3 hours, and on the way there, I actually only sat there and read my book. I needed to charge my phone. I had my portable charger, so I just didn't stress about charging it on the plane. I just waited until I got off the plane at my destination, took out my portable charger then when I was able to open up my whole bag. Then I got it, and then I was able to leave the airport, and everything was fine. In my front little pockets, I didn't even go into this pocket like at all, I think. I have a crushed chocolate, lip balm, hand sanitizer, a pen, gum, and some cough drops. For the big front pocket, I had my wallet, a baby Baggu reusable bag, which I use for my food most of the time when I go to the airport, but particularly this time, I had to bring my own food. But this is the perfect size to put a few snacks for before and after the flight. If you finish it before, throw away your garbage, put this in your bag. I had some extras that I carried onto the flight in my jacket pocket. Makes security easier for me. I have TSA pre-check, so I don't have to take everything out. After you go through that first identification scan, you basically go right into security. So I just take my headphones, my phone, my passport, and whatever things I have in my pocket, my watch, throw it in here with my food, tie it up, passports, because I have 2. I brought a book for the plane and a little notebook. If you do not know, I was surprised to find out that this standard size paperback fits vertically in this pocket. On my trip, I brought my large iPad, so that's in the tablet compartment. So before we go inside the bag, I just want to go over what I wore to the airport, because when you are flying personal item only, what you wear to the airport is very important. So I wore a hoodie. I tend to travel with a standard cotton hoodie. A lot of people would say it's bulky, but I'm okay wearing it on the plane. I brought the rain shell, just fit over that. Enough warmth for what I needed. I wore these black athletic joggers. So these aren't cotton, these are like athletic material. So those are on the plane. Under my sweatshirt, I wore a t-shirt, which doubled as my pajama shirt. Then I brought my darn tough hiking socks, just to have a pair of bigger, thicker socks, just in case. And then I wore my standard sneakers for my day-to-day wear. Now, let's open up this bag and see what's in here. So as you can see, even before we get into the bag, this looks empty. And that was part of my goal, is that I wanted the bag to look a little empty. So as you can see, we have two slots here. This one, I originally packed out a lot more, but I changed it. There were a few things that started in here that I moved here with the space. And you can see from this little covering, it's not too compressing, but it's just enough that it can contain it better than putting it in this side and then squishing it into this side. So in this little pocket, I have my Apple Pencil and tissues. And then my portable charger I also kept here. Then in here, I have my chargers and cords, my toiletry bag, which I'll go over, my Kobo, and then this little packing cube with my camera, battery charger, and adapter. So that did not fill up this compartment. I had a lot more space in this compartment, but like I said, I wanted it to look empty. So this is my toiletry bag. I actually discovered on this trip that I like how flat it is, because it could have fit into here if I needed to. So let's see what's in here. I have my little toothpaste, which is empty now, toothbrush, tongue scraper, perfume, hairbrush, castile soap, mini cocofloss, deodorant, beef tallow sunscreen, qtips. The only jewelry I brought were this necklace and one pair of earrings, a few hair ties, and then my everyday oil. The only thing I didn't bring was a shampoo bar because I don't have one that I like right now for the main compartment. If I needed to fit my toiletry bag in here, I could have, which is awesome. Like I was saying earlier, this size of a backpack is 100% passable as a personal item. So that's why I felt more comfortable with just putting as much as I could in here. This zipper isn't really compressing, but it's enough that it keeps everything contained. So this was my pencil pouch. I wanted to do some art when I was there, so I just brought some colored pencils, some different markers. And this little pen is cute because it has different colored highlighters.
I have a cute story about the plane because that highlighter reminded me, there was this girl in front of me, I don't know, 8 years old. She had one of those little highlighter pens, combo pens, and she had these stack of Post-its, and she was in the aisle seat, and then next to her was like a young couple, and I don't know if they said something to her or if she was just being cute, but she was like writing affirmations, like you are kind, you are thoughtful, you're a good person. And then I thought she was doing that for herself, because she was sticking them on the back seat of the plane seat, but then she gave them to them, and it was so cute, and it just made me smile. And you know, flying is stressful for a lot of people, and traveling with kids is stressful for a lot of people, and particularly on my flight there was a lot of turbulence and babies crying. So just seeing that reminded me that like you can be that like bit of kindness that helps somebody through something. And that girl, I'm sure she was just like being herself, doing her thing, writing her nice notes, but it was just nice to see, you know, something good like that happening in the world.
So I also have, I put my notebook, my big notebook in here because I didn't need this, easy access to this. And my fanny pack. On the way back, I tucked my hat in here. Under here, I have the sandals that I brought. So like I said, on the plane, I wore my sneakers, but they're kind of like Tevas. They're just thinner with a Z strap. I didn't love walking on these all day because the material on the bottom was sort of rubbing against my feet in a way I didn't like. They did the trick. I brought 5 pairs of underwear, and on the way there, I packed them in this cube. I also brought another pair of short socks just in case I needed that, and I did not fold, I laid them flat instead of having them in a little roll. So in this packing cube on the way there, my underwear and my sleeping shorts, and it tucked perfectly right into here. I wore one sports bra, and then I brought one additional one. So due to the climate of my destination and what I was going to do, I wanted to bring light long sleeves. So I brought my favorite REI sun shirt, and I love wearing these. I also brought this oversized button up for a little bit of a cuter outfit, and I really liked it. So the thing with traveling like this is that people will tell you to not bring cotton things. Now, that's difficult for me because I like wearing cotton things, and I prefer to wear cotton over polyester and stuff, even though the sun shirt is an exception, though. So I prefer to wear cotton, but everyone on the One Bag subreddit will tell you not to wear cotton. However, this was fine. It rolled up pretty small. It did get wrinkly, but if you think about where you're going, you know, a little wrinkles are going to be fine. This is a little wrinkly right now because it was stuffed in my bag for over 24 hours, but just when you get there, take it out of your bag and then it'll be fine. So on the way there, I folded it a bit less, so it was more like taking up a larger space. Then when I got there, I took it out and it was fine wrinkle-wise. I loved this for sun coverage in a little more fashionable way, and it was really comfortable, and I'm glad I brought it. The only other top I brought was this tank. Now, before we get into pants, let's talk about this. I didn't do as much like active outdoor walking as I wanted. It was a little more casual instead of like hiking, but I brought this just in case and kind of a test for myself, because on this trip I was traveling by myself, but I wasn't by myself during the trip. But if I was by myself during the trip, I would usually be out the whole day, and I wouldn't want to bring this bag just walking around everywhere, but I would need more space than just a fanny pack. It fit, which was what I wanted to test. For pants, this is where I struggled a bit. I wanted to have enough options, but after my trip, this was plenty. Another thing you need to compromise on when you're traveling with one bag, whether or not it's a personal item, is that a lot of times you need to wear the same outfits over and over again. And I was concerned about that and laundry, but this ended up being fine. So these were my sleep shorts, like loose bike shorts, and these were great. Totally could have worn these like out if for some reason I needed to. And sort of last minute, I decided to bring an actual pair of bike shorts that are a little tighter, actual bike shorts. Now these I will definitely bring again. They're just standard black athletic shorts. They're a little more like flowy and loose, and so I really enjoy these shorts in general, and they were good for traveling. They roll up small, and I had them tucked right in the side here. Now these shorts I probably wouldn't travel with again. Having purple shorts just didn't really go with what I was wearing, and I wanted to have them as another option, but I actually didn't really need them, so I don't think I would bring these again. Just a reminder that the other pair of pants I brought were these athletic joggers that I wore on the plane. I didn't wear these on non-travel days, but I totally could have. The last thing I brought that I didn't wear at all were these linen pants. I definitely envisioned that I was going to wear these at least once, or I thought I was going to wear them like 3 times. I do not regret bringing these, even though I didn't wear them at all, because I know if I had really wanted to wear pants versus shorts, I would have really loved to have these. So even though I didn't wear them, I'm glad I brought them, and I would bring them again. So that is going to be my recap of what I brought on this trip. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you have this bag, if you enjoy it, where you want to go on your next trip, if you are curious in flying personal item only and how that would be for you. And let me know if you would have done anything different than me. So with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone,